Thank you, Kaushik. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible, yes.
Yeah. Professor K.D. Ramesh, what a finale to this symposium. Thank you very much for a really great talk. Yesterday, I talked about our colleague who is retiring, Professor Sima. I think his Sima version 1 is completed. It will complete in a couple of days. Sima, The Lion King 2, it says Simha's Pride. That is due next. I just want to say a few words about Prosima once again. I talked about it yesterday morning. I want you to look at this interview that my colleague Navneet Ravichandran has done with Professor Sima. If you look at those answers, what we find is that Sima didn't talk about himself at all. And in fact, many times when we try to probe him, he doesn't talk about himself at all. So we have to figure out what he is with the interaction that we have. So I used my privilege as the chair of the department now to look at his file in the department a few days ago. And Sima, I had the singular honor of looking at your CV in 1986. So I would like to tell all those young people now who are looking for a position to fill the gap that Sima is going to leave in our department in experimental solid mechanics, that you need to match that level of accomplishment, and of course, time matched, and that level of erudition, and that level of academic curiosity, and that level of commitment to excellence, and lots of productivity and ambition to excel in your field of research and serve our institute and our country. So it's a tall order. You have big shoes to fill. We definitely want to continue this tradition in the department. And we have seen a lot of young people giving great talks last 3 days, including today. And I would like to wish our dear colleague, Professor Sima, happy retired life. And maybe if you tell more about himself when we meet next. So he just doesn't want to talk about himself. And we have to talk about you. And that's always our pleasure. Thank you very much to all the speakers last 3 days. I can see there are still a lot of people at 10:20, and I think the night is still young, and we can celebrate Simha's long career more. Thank you very much, Kaushik.
Thanks a lot. Finally, I'd like to call upon Professor Santi, who's the chair of this entire virtual symposium, to give us a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Kaushik. Is my voice audible?
Yes, you're loud and clear, yes.
Okay. We have come to the almost the end of this wonderful event. I have mixed feelings. Okay. When our chairman, Professor Suresh, asked me to conduct this webinar, I was a bit apprehensive given the online nature of the event. And I, being a bit of an old timer and not so tech savvy, I thought we will end up with connectivity issues, audiovisual lags, and so on. The last 3 days have proven me wrong, and I do walk away from this event with a sense of achievement. We've had an excellent, informative, fruitful 3-day webinar. It has hopefully been very useful for the young researchers in more than one way. In this, there are several contributors whom I would like to thank. There's only one danger, that of forgetting someone. Please forgive me if that happens. Firstly, I would like to thank the speakers for having agreed so promptly to give their talks and having shared their knowledge. Just within a week, we had all the speakers lined up. The talks covered varied subjects within solid mechanics and were very lively. Without the speakers, the event would not have been possible at all. Next, I express my gratitude to the audience and attendees for having spared their time and joined the webinar. Their attendance and their interactions with the speakers made the event a success. I would especially like to thank our Deputy Director, Professor Rudra Pratap, who graced the occasion and participated in the panel discussion and shared useful insights. My gratitude goes out to the Divisional Chairman of Mechanical Sciences, Professor Vikram Jairam, for his presence and support throughout the 3-day event and his participation in the panel discussion. I thank our chairman, Professor Anand Suresh, for having conceived this idea of a webinar to felicitate Professor Simha, and also for his constant support and ideas during the entire planning stages of this event. I express my appreciation to my colleague, Dr. Susmita Das, for moderating the panel discussion and so ably handling the entire event. My gratitude is due to our office staff who are of great help and who have been silently contributing to the entire event and even coming to the office amidst this pandemic times. In particular, I would like to mention Mrs. Somavati, Mrs. Chinamma, Mrs. Devaki, and Mrs. Shaheen Banu. I would finally like to thank my team members, and some of whom served as hosts and session chairs, the technical committee that included Professor R. Narasimhan, Professor Chandrasekhar Jog, Professor Namrata Gundaya, the organizing committee that amongst many things handled the internet and Zoom issues, Professor Kaushik Vishwanathan, Professor Ram Sharan Rangarajan, Mr. Srinivasa, and Mr. Haridasan. Special appreciation goes out to Professor Ram Sharan for having organized the YRM almost single-handedly. Thanks to Dr. Navanita Krishnan for the interview with Professor Simha that is preserved for posterity. With this, we come to the end of this event. Let me once again felicitate Professor Simha for his long career and contributions to the Mechanical Engineering Department, IISc. Thank you. With this, we close the event.
I think I should say that we should thank Professor Sonti also, because as a chair of this whole event, he has definitely handled many people and did all that needed to be done. Thank you, Sonti.
Thank you.